little bit about that subpoena and what you make of it. They're trying to subpoena Elon Musk about Jeffrey Epstein. What's that all about?
Yeah, I mean it's not super clear what the subpoena is about, but it's the U.S. Virgin Islands, so it's not the U.S. as a whole. Clearly, they want attention to their case, and they're going after JPMorgan because JPMorgan allegedly financed Jeffrey Epstein and helped to cover up some of his misdeeds. And I guess the subpoena for Elon Musk is because they claim that Jeffrey Epstein helped put Elon in touch with JP Morgan. I mean, it's patently ridiculous. I mean, you can just read news articles showing that JP Morgan had invested in Tesla 2 decades ago, right, in the 2000s. They didn't need to go through, I mean, he didn't need to go through Jeffrey Epstein to get in touch with JP Morgan. They're just a phone call away. It's complete nonsense. And he himself responded to the reports on Twitter in which he said that cretin, referring to Jeffrey Epstein, never advised me on anything whatsoever. The notion that I would need or listen to financial advice from a dumb crook is absurd. Yeah, I mean, this is a titan of industry. He doesn't need to listen to Jeffrey Epstein, who wasn't a titan of anything. He was, if anything, a con artist. In addition to being a predatory criminal. And finally, JP Morgan let Tesla down 10 years ago, despite having Tesla's global commercial banking business, which we then withdrew. I have never forgiven them. So clearly he has no ties to either Epstein or JP Morgan at this point. So it's quite unclear why they would subpoena Elon Musk. It seems to me to be political in nature. Or maybe just to draw attention to the case, because no one seems to be super interested in finding out, what happened with Epstein. Where's the list? I mean, if anything, Elon Musk is the one, shouting from the rooftops saying, release the list of the Epstein names. And yet they're not releasing those names. We have the names. We occasionally see snippets of it in the Wall Street Journal, but give us the full list, I mean, I think that's important. If you're really interested in going after these people, do that.
The Wall Street Journal has done some important reporting lately showing a connection between JP Morgan and Epstein, but the connection to Elon Musk is a laugh. The subpoena it says that Epstein, quote, may have referred or attempted to refer Musk as a client to JP Morgan. As you say, there's no factual basis for that. I think there's two things afoot. Elon Musk is newsworthy. It's like saying Kim Kardashian 5 years ago. I mean, you say the name Elon Musk and you're going to get some media attention, including from him, which happened. He responded to it. So you're going to get some attention on a case that may not otherwise. And second of all, this goes to my fear. They're going to take this guy down. And who knows? I mean, I don't know him personally. I know he has different kids by different moms. I know he flies around. I know he's got so much money. There's got to be schemers and scammers around him all the time. I'm sure his conversations are tapped not just by world governments, but by rival companies. I mean, it must be very difficult to have any privacy if you're him. And my chief worry about Elon Musk is they're going to get to him in some non-business way. And I hope that doesn't happen, because I think he has so much good to do, not just for the world as an industrialist and a wealth creator, but I actually, and maybe I sound naive for this, I actually believe him when he says he cares about humanity and the importance of freedom of speech. Maybe I'm just a sucker, but I
believe him too.
Like him. Last word to you, Ian, because I think you, I wouldn't say you're close to him, but you talk to the guy, you interact with him, you communicate with him, which is something I think a lot of people wish they could do. What's your sense of the man as a man? Have you had enough dealings with him to come to form some mental image of him?
I would say so. I would say that he is who he presents himself on the internet. Most people don't. I mean, well, maybe not most people, but many people put up a facade of themselves. They want the world to think that they're something when they're really something else in private. Elon Musk doesn't strike me that way. He strikes me as an honest man, and I think he can't afford to be dishonest, right? Because he knows that he's being watched all the time. And this is Elon his entire life, where you can read him. I mean, he's as transparent as a book, basically. You can flip through the pages and recognize that he is who he says he is. He is who he presents himself as. I don't think he tries to be anything different. I don't think he tries to manipulate the public. And I think truth, if anything, is his highest priority. And that's commendable. If anything, more people, more businessmen in particular, could stand to be like Elon Musk and be more sincere in the way they present themselves to the public. Because He's got nothing to hide. This is a man who is who he says he is. That's my read on it. And I think you can quite clearly see that in his interactions online, where he will simply say the quiet part out loud, even if it's unpopular, even if it gives him a lot of flack. Calling George Soros, Magneto, has certainly earned him a lot of attacks today. And so, the fact that he's willing to say that tells you a lot about him. He's not political. He's not playing a game with people.
That was an excerpt from the Ezra Levant Show. I'm Ezra Levant. Every weekday, I do a monologue about the topic of the day. Then I interview a fascinating guest either in studio or via Skype. And then I read your mail, whether it's fan mail or hate mail, which is sometimes even more interesting. This is on our premium service, though, called Rebel News Plus. Go to rebelnewsplus.com. It's $8 a month or less if you buy a whole year in advance. You get my show every weeknight, plus Sheila Gunn Reid's show every week. It's called The Gun Show. It's pretty amazing. We rely on you because we do not take a dime from the government. In Canada, that makes us almost unique. So please help us out and help yourself to some great journalism at rebelnewsplus.com.